Our shout-out tonight goes to a dogged reporter in the San Francisco Bay Area whose work has helped to uncover what really happened in several deadly fires, showing they probably could have and should have been prevented.
Everybody get out now. This is the Santa Rosa Police Department. It's time to go.
Just last year in 2018, there was the state's deadliest and most destructive fire, the Camp Fire.
Reporter Matthias Gafni, known as T in the newsroom, was determined to find out the story of what happened, using a database that archives police and fire frequencies.
And I just started listening right around the time that they believed the fire started. And sure enough, I heard that a dispatcher get a call.
Looking across under the high tension power lines, there's a possible power line hazard.
And they basically reported that there were wires down underneath transmission lines.
Engine 2176, confirming you copy power line hazard.
And this is right at the moment that the campfire is believed to have started, and right in the area that the campfire was believed to have started.
Engine 2176 responding, copy power line down.
And so that was a real big break in finding out what may be the cause for this fire.
The evidence pointing to the state's giant PG&E utility.
PG&E just now said that they are probably at fault with their equipment having a malfunction. And so that was, just a few days after the campfire that we were able to narrow that down and show that PG&E very well could be at fault.
And beyond the equipment malfunction, Gafni determined that PG&E, if it followed its own guidelines, should have shut down the power in such high-risk fire conditions.
Most of those criteria were actually met prior to the campfire, yet for some reason they decided to keep the power on.
PG&E now has declared bankruptcy, saying it expects to face massive lawsuits.
Okay, guys.
2 years earlier, in another deadly fire, Gafni was just as adept in disproving the notion that city officials in Oakland were unaware of potentially dangerous conditions at a huge warehouse called The Ship, where dozens of artists and musicians had taken up residence.
We wound up getting police body cam footage, and we found that police officers routinely were responding there. And when they responded there, we found a couple things out from their body cam footage. One was that the lead tenant of that warehouse was saying that no one lived inside the warehouse, which was not true. But we also found that in one instance, 2 police officers respond to a call for service cams. You see them walking through this maze inside the warehouse, and you can hear one of the officers say something to the effect of, all it would take is one match and this place would go up.
One spark and it will go back.
36 people died in the fire. 2 of the building's principal tenants have been charged criminally, and both the city and the landlord are facing huge lawsuits. Gafni's reporting on the Ship fire earned him and his fellow reporters a Pulitzer Prize, and 2 weeks ago he joined the San Francisco Chronicle after being named the Journalist of the Year in Northern California by the Society of Professional Journalists.
I'm born and raised in the Bay Area here, and I have a family. I find it really impactful to kind of do reporting that immediately impacts my community and the people I've grown up with and I love and respect. So it's really pretty rewarding.
So our shout out tonight to Matthias Gafni. That's our program. Thanks for joining us. Good night.